I am Dr. Meggan Hartman, and I have been at Meridian. I believe this is my eighth or ninth year coming into, and I've taught in a lot of different classes from intro to transformative learning to well-being to complexity capability to relational development to research methods, history of psychology, emotional development, dialogic capability, and the list goes on. I've been lead faculty in numerous courses here.
What is it about Meridian that you like being a part of?
First and foremost, a transformative community of practice that keeps engaging me, it keeps drawing me in, it keeps my learning uh, developing and deepening. And that transformative learning community starts with our core faculty, but then it extends out to what I learn from the students, from the administrative side to the whole entire community that's here, that we're all in it to learn, to grow, to develop, to keep doing better, to keep showing up.
I think that's really well said. And for you, what drew you to teaching in higher education in the first place?
Um, I come by it naturally. I have a long line of faculty, professors in my family, grandparents, great grandparents, my father, and I remember the day I got my doctorate. I was actually kind of really sad about it, and my father asked me why was that. Um, and I was like, "Cause school." I felt like school was over. And he just turned to me. He said, "You know, you can go and work in a university and school will never be over." He was the chairman of the medical school at Wake Forest of the biochemistry department. He's like, "Do what I did. You never have to leave. Just keep learning and go back into school." And that was when I was like, right, I can do that. And here I am.
And are you also a practicing clinician out in the field?
I am a coach. I do have a small private practice. I work with mothers and women, uh, primarily going through various transitions, trying to find their soul's purpose and to live into that, and to help mothers with their new babies and getting oriented to life as mother and that transition and what that means to becoming a mother. And that was my original research, was becoming a mother.
How do you think having that experience out in the field is helpful to be faculty at Meridian?
It keeps my practices engaged. It keeps, when I learn something new, there's this avenue to explore it with my clients, my coaching clients. And they feed me. Like, there's real time situations that come in that's happening in culture and what culture is dictating, that if I feel like if I was siloed in just academia, I might not be as privy to all this happening real time outside. So it's this balance between living theory. I'll just leave it at that. It's just like living the theory in all of its diverse ways.
For you so far, what has your experience been like with other faculty and students at Meridian?
I smile when you say other faculty. I adore the other faculty that are here. It's just every time I'm just excited to go into faculty meeting because we have so much diversity and we have faculty from all over the world. And again, like, gosh, I get to learn from these incredible people that are. That come in that have had different life experiences, different exposure to different theories, different interpretations of theories, and how we can all come together and just keep growing and learning and deepening together. Just wonderful people doing incredible work around the whole world. And then the student body is just, every time I step into class, I'm blown away. We have a very impressive student body that's just, they're engaged learners. You know, they're here, they're adults, they're here to learn, to get into it, and to engage in transformative learning, and all the richness of all that entails.
You just led me to my next question beautifully, which is, in your own words, how would you describe transformative learning to someone who maybe isn't familiar with it?
It's about understanding our perceptions of the world, um, how we view the world, coming to understanding what formed our perceptions so that we can loosen our grip of how we view this world this way to expand all the different perspectives that are out there so we can still stay centered in our being, but um, so we can better address the complexities of our time, that we can show up in a way for our clients, for our organizations that we might be leading, the businesses that we are creating, our students are going to be creating, to address the complexity of our times in a center grounded way.
What has your experience been like teaching on the online format? How does that work for you? Do you enjoy it? Anything you want to share?
First and primary, because we're online, we get students from all over the world. We get faculty from all over the world. It opens doors, for sure. That's here. And I know school, we kind of dragged our feet some into the online platform because we weren't quite sure if transformative learning would happen. But through our processes and through the development, we realized that it can happen. And a nod to the hybrid program, that it's still wonderful that we have that aspect to the program, that people can show up real time and that we can see people in their fullness, and that too is a part of it. But I love the online, and it's rich and deep work that can happen.
Have you gotten the chance to attend a transformative learning lab?
Oh, lots of them. We've had some online, but I haven't gone in person.
What are those like, and why do you think they're important to include as an option for students?
I think community deepens because you're in a more sustained environment, being together face to face in a room for longer periods of time. And then, of course, outside of that, you're like, hey, do you want to go have lunch together? You know, those moments outside, those little mini experiences that deepen relationships for sure. But however, when you're sitting in the room, vulnerability changes, you know, how students relate to the content. There is some shift with that. The work deepens. The pauses can take a little bit longer. The risks can be a little bit more.
True. Very, very true. And also for those international students, I'm just thinking with our global locations, it gives them that chance too to get that experience as well. So all of it is very, very cool. And for you overall, what's your favorite thing about teaching at Meridian?
Transformative learning, hands down. I've taught in other universities, and it's coming back to Meridian. It was like, yeah, this is the way
Yeah,
education needs to happen.
absolutely. And what is it like to experience firsthand a student's transformative learning process?
Oh, it makes me smile. It's challenging, and there's moments of when you're coming to realize that there's something bigger, you know, a bigger perception, a bigger way, a bigger mode of being, and um, seeing the light bulbs go off, and teaching the first quarter students all the way to the last quarter students and seeing their journey. Um, it's outstanding, you know.